So it's a Tuesday evening, and I'm going to be taking some more cuttings this evening. And today I'm going to be taking cuttings of one of my favourite all-time plants, and that is the Fuchsia. I have a variety here called Walts Jubal, and I think it's quite a new variety. I haven't actually seen it before, but it's got some very nice pink flowers on that. And they seem to have a sort of clump at the top there, which is unusual for the fuchsias that I have in my garden. But yeah, it's a semi-hardy fuchsia, so it might need some protection over winter. So it's a good idea to take some cuttings to keep in stock in case the main plant doesn't make it through the winter. So step number one is you want to select some healthy looking stems and remove them from the main plant. Now I don't want to take too many stems off because it will spoil the look of the plant, so let's have a look and see what we can find. So I think I might just take this one stem off. And that looks about right. So I've got all my tools at the ready. My 2 pots with the pre-moistened compost and perlite mix. So as I said in my previous video, and I'll leave a link to that, I use a 50-50 mix of seed and cut and compost and perlite. I've got my snippers, and I managed to get a new fresh bottle of Clonex rooting hormone gel. So if you watched my previous video, you would have seen that I was dipping the cuttings directly into the bottle, but this time, because I've got a fresh bottle, I'm going to just drip a little bit of the gel into the dish there. And you don't need very much because it goes quite a long way. So with fuchsias, they are nodal cuttings you want to do. So in the clematis video previously, I was doing internodal cuttings. So these are the opposite of that. So basically what you want to do is cut just below the leaf nodes there. Strip those off. And then you'll see that's where I've removed the leaves, and then you want to cut just above this leaf node here. And then you're left with the leaf node at the bottom, which I'm going to be dipping in the rooting gel, and then a selection of these leaves at the top. What I'm probably going to do is clip off this main leaf and just leave those little smaller leaves there. That should be enough to help the cutting photosynthesize without losing too much moisture. And then literally all I'm going to do is dip it in the rooting gel, nice liberal amount, and then I'm not going to bother dipping this, I'm just literally going to poke it into the edge of the pot here, nice and firmly. Just give it a little firm around there, and that's one cutting done. Now I'm obviously left with the rest here, and what I'm going to do again is clip below the next set of leaf nodes. Again, strip the leaves off. And then clip above that leaf joint there. So you can see that's left me with quite a few leaves. In this instance, what I might do is clip these smaller ones off. And then fold these two together, like so, and then cut them in half. So you're left with that. And the reason I've done that is to reduce moisture loss. So again, just dip that in the rooting gel and dip that in the edge of the pot. Same again with the remaining stem, clip below the leaf bud, node I should say, trim the leaves off, and then I might leave this slightly longer, this cutting, so I'm going to cut the leaf bud off the top, cut the leaves off the side here, and then remove the flower buds, because you don't want the cutting to put energy into these flowers. You want it to start producing roots, so I'll trim those off. They're quite small leaves left on there, so I'll probably leave that as it is. Give that a dunk. And then pop that in the edge of the pot. So I've only got 3 cuttings in that pot there, so I think I'll see if I can find one more shoot off that plant to trim off. And here we've got another one, so it's a little bit bendier, so it's a little bit softer, but it should be okay. And again, clip that one off, take the leaves off the bottom, clip above the next set of leaves, and I think I'll just remove half of this larger leaf, leaving that. Dip that in the rooting gel, pop that in the edge of the pot. I could probably get another cutting out of that, so I'm going to clip there, strip the leaves off. What I might do again is just take the top out of that, take these side leaves off, and just leave those 2 little leaves there. And those are the cuttings taken from that variety. So there is another variety in the garden which I do really like as well, and I'm going to go and take you over there now and take some cuttings from that. So here we have the variety. This is WP Wood, and I might have shown you in my early June tour the little flowers it has. Lovely little pink flowers again. Slightly pinker than the variety I've just taken cuttings of, but they look like little ballerinas, so I really like them. So I've got quite a few of these around the garden which I've cloned, so I'm going to trim off a couple of stems and do the same thing. So I might just take out this rather large stem here. That's probably going to have enough for 3 cuttings, and maybe this stem here as well. So the procedure is exactly the same with this fuchsia as well. So I'm going to cut below a leaf node, strip the leaves off, and then I might leave these cuttings slightly longer actually, so I'm going to cut it here. Just trim those off. And then we've got quite a collection of leaves at the top there, so I'm going to cut out the smaller ones. That's left me with 3 quite large leaves, so I'm going to go ahead and cut those in half, I think. And then just give that a little dab in the hormone gel, and then pop it in the edge of the pot as before. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same with the rest of these stems. And there we have it, another pot with fuchsia cuttings in, and all I need to do is pop them in my little propagation tote again. So we're pretty much at capacity in the propagation tote at the moment, but I reckon I can squeeze in a couple more pots. So I'm going to pop those ones there. You'll notice there's some more cuttings of the same variety next to it, which I took yesterday. It's probably a good idea to label your cuttings with the variety and the time and date that you took them, but I'm a little bit rogue, so I haven't bothered. But yeah, fuchsia cuttings are pretty easy to root. Some varieties root easier than others, but it's a very cheap and effective way to stock up your garden. I mean, half the reason why my garden's so rammed with plants is because I've cloned them so many times. But yeah, give it a go. If you found this video useful, then please like and subscribe, and I will see you again.